Hi everyone and welcome back to UiPath tutorials. So today in this video I'm going to tell you how we can work on the transaction data that that is coming from the test file. We are having one test file with the columns name and the country, and we are having the test data with the Kishle as a name and the country is India, and another is Rahul in the US. So I'm going to read this Excel file in the init state. I'm not going to explain the whole RE framework. I hope that everyone is aware of it. So I am reading this test file here, and in the properties it is assigned to the transaction data. This transaction data you don't need to create it. This will already present when you are having the default RE framework template. I have just put it the value here in this transaction data. Another change is, as I'm not going to work on the queues, so I have removed that should stop part, and you can just change the sequence, also the name of the sequence. Here I have given the condition as transaction data.row.count is always less than transaction numbers. If is this condition met, then we have to stop the process. Otherwise it will go here and just get the transaction data. So I'm opening this workflow. Earlier we are getting data from get transaction item, but I have deleted that, and I am just getting the data from the transaction data now. So IO transaction data, if you see here, this is the same data that we are having from the init state. This is the transaction data that we are having. I'm just pulling out the values on the respective rows and the columns, putting it to the transaction item. Similar way I am putting it to the transaction field 1 and transaction field 2. So this transaction item earlier is a queue item. If you are having the default RE framework, you will be able to see it like this particular transaction item is a queue item, but I have changed it to string now because I'm not using the queue item here. This is only the change that I have done here. Now moving forward, going to the process. So wherever there are the queue items, you have to change it to the string. Basically the transaction item is string here. I'm just printing here the customer name, whatever the name it is coming the transaction item for now, and just throwing exception from here. And the major change that I have done is in the set transaction status. There are no queue item. You are if you are able to see the arguments, there are no queue item, and the transaction item is also the string type. I have commented these activities because these are the queue. These were basically used in the queue, but we are not working with the queues now, so I have just commented this. In the retry current transactions, if you see the variable that is queue retry, I have put it as a false default because I'm not using any queue retries for now. Now open workflows, if you go to this, I have not done any changes here because this logic is perfect. It will automatically going to do the retries and it will handle that. But yes, I'm going to show you by the breakpoints. Let me run this particular code to see what exactly the bot will do on the transaction items. I'm going to debug it. It is started. So the first customer is Kishle and the system exception is occurred here. Let me continue. Step into. It is coming to the exception. Now it is come to the final state and doing step into now. It will go to the system exception sequence. These are no use. These are not in use now. It is coming to the retry current transaction. So it will check whether this max retry is greater than 0. It is greater than 0 because we have set the max retry number as 1. Now it will check whether IO retry number is greater than equals to the max retry number. It will not match the condition, so it will come to the no state. Now it will check that is it a Q retry. We are not using any Q retries. By default, we have set the default value as false. Now it will come to the no part, and it will going to increase the retry number. Now I'm going to continue it again, and it will going to retry one more time. You see the transaction number is 1, but still the transaction number is 1 because it is retrying the same transaction number. Only the retry number got increased, but the transaction number is not increased. So I'm going to continue it. It will come here. I'm going to do the step into. It will go to the system exceptions. It will go to the retry current transactions. Now if you see, the max retry number, IO retry number is greater than or equal to max retry number. That's right. Let's see what is the IO retry number here. IO retry number is 1 and max retry number is false. So condition is matched now. It will come here. It will initialize the 0 value to IO retry number. And now the transaction number will be increased, if you see. So now the bot will going to pick the transaction number 2, which is Rahul. It will again going to do the same thing. It will going to retry for this Rahul. I'm going to continue it now. You see it is retrying Rahul again on the same transaction number. Let me continue it. Now it get ended. So the whole concept that if we want to retry on the same transaction item, this is the best way to do it, because if we are going with the queue concept, then it will, if the item get filled, it will going to add at the end. So that's the problem. Like if somewhere we want either retry should be happen at the same time, then you can go with this particular concept. If you have any issues, like I will going to put this on the GitHub, this particular ReFramework. I will share the link, and if you have any issues you can comment on my video. Thanks everyone, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.